Get this joint rocking.
Check it out. Come and check us out. If we think this is sport, come see what we about. Check it out. Come and check us out. If we think this is sport, come see what we about.
Jay-Z in the Nets jersey. Reggie got Indiana. And he was.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
It's crazy how he was making the cuts, making it.
Why is he not better than him?
So everybody take a seat. We think it's sports, but sometimes we don't know. We asking that.
Here, so before we get started, I have a question for y'all. What's your thoughts about fantasy basketball?
It's funny you said that. I just quit a league today.
Oh, word?
Yeah, it was quiet. My man Rick.
How did you quit a league before it even start?
Because he hit me like, "Yo, Sam, you down this year?" I said, "Absolutely not." Like, one, it's just too much. Like, I can't. Like it. Just even take out football. You can take football out. I literally cannot focus on it. Like, it's every day. It's like, oh, set your lineups 2-3 weeks in advance. Yeah, but it's like eventually it'll catch up to you.
Like, was you in the one we did? As the friend group did one? Oh, okay.
No.
Well, we did one maybe 4 years ago. And
Whenever I tried it.
I just tried it. I didn't know what to know. I didn't know. I just tried it. And then it was like, yo, this is impossible, bro. Like, then it's like the NFL, how you kind of appreciate the NFL almost in a sense, because like how they it's weekly. They know who playing. It's not I mean, sometimes it's some surprises. Don't get me wrong, but the NBA, it'd be like they didn't play. It'd be like how you don't know. You did. It's every day. It's like you got to pick up people every day, drop people every day. It's every grind, and it's like, bro, I don't watch that much basketball to care. So it's no way. It's just the NFL model is too perfect. I'm not saying it's bad, but comparing the two, it's not even close. It's just not close.
It's like the war of attrition. Because like at the end of the day, you're not like nobody's paying. I think nobody's really paying attention, but I think
the gamblers, super gamblers, they paying attention.
Oh, absolutely, and that's how they win. But I think the only way to really do fantasy basketball is to have two people control of the team, right? It's to have and I've heard this with people who do baseball, which is kind of an everyday thing, pitchers in and out and stuff like that. It's not one owner to most teams in certain leagues. It's just you at least have two owners because it's just too much for one person to handle. Like it's too time consuming, and it's just like I'm out. Like I checked out. Like in our my joint I was doing last year, I literally just checked out. Like I was like, I don't care anymore. Like I don't.
Yeah, I checked out. I say a month in. For me, it was like a month and a half in. I was like, yo, this is insane. So, yo, this is literally insane, bro. Even if you said it 3 days and like people be out, like you don't, and they just be gone, like they didn't play today. It's like, man, all right, like it's crazy, bro. I don't care. It's just I can't do it.
So if I told y'all I just signed up for one, y'all told me I'm wilding.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you wilding.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends.
Have you ever did it,
Mike? No.
Oh, you just.
Oh yeah, bro. I don't know. It's a lot, bro. It's just NFL times like 100, bro. It's a lot.
That's crazy.
You got to be on the waivers. You got to because people don't play. Like people don't play. You think people who was on the lineup yesterday, they do not play tomorrow. So you got to take them out. You got to put a new person in like every day.
Especially with COVID. Like I couldn't imagine. That's number one.
It's quiet.
But like what's even worse was this is what's gonna happen. This is where I checked out. Like you're gonna have a good player, right? A decent enough player to whereas you're going to be faced with the option to you're going to have to drop him so you can pick up Evan Fournier or somebody like that. And it's just I'm not doing that. Like I'm just not I'm not doing this. Like why am I picking up Ish Smith right now? Like I just you just check out I don't want to do this. Like I don't want to have to pick up Ish Smith every 3 days. So it's quiet.
And then it's the nuance. Like we might get too deep. But I know one if you're a bad free throw shooter.
Podcast rag. Go ahead, do your thing.
I don't if you're a bad free throw shooter, that's like percentage. It's percentages. Like if you shoot, it's not how many you shoot. If you shoot 20 for 50, that's bad. You rather shoot 2 for 2. because missing 30 free throws is like 30, maybe half points less or something like. So having a big man that can't shoot free throws is kind of like nah. You kind of like you want to be like it's how you finesse those things. It's like one of those. It's like come on.
That's wild because I never knew that.
That's wild.
Like, I never knew that. I didn't know that.
It's stuff like that that's like yo, I can't do this.
It's quiet.
I gotta drop this big man because he just got me negative because he just missed 10 free throws a day. You know what I'm saying? It's quiet, bro.
Which league was you in, Rad?
It's great. I was in we had one of the friend group.
No, I know. I'm saying
like
what
coming right.
What site? You can say the site.
Yahoo. It was Yahoo. Right, coming right off the first year of the Real Men's, the first annual year of the Real Men's League.
I remember they
said let's do basketball too. And I was like, all right, try it. And everybody was like, nah, you are.
Well, the issue was that I wasn't running it. I ain't gonna say who was running it. Shout out to you. But the issue is that I wasn't running. You know, I run a tight ship. I run a tight ship.
Mike,
maybe, but I'm not gonna hold you. I might push the 2 months to you, but that's about it. I might push to not a month, maybe 2 months, but that's about it.
This is ESPN, Mike.
I have no idea. So he texted me when I was about to hop in the shower, like, "Yo, we doing a fun fantasy basketball league. You want to hop in?"
It's no money.
No money.
Oh, don't do it at all.
So
that's even more of a waste of time.
So
I mean, that's better to do it than with money because now,
with money, I'm losing money and I still don't care. Yeah. Right, but the only reason that I'm doing it is because, like, I don't say the podcast, but I want to get back into basketball. Right. For most of my professional life, y'all know I've been on second and third shift, so I've been tapped out of basketball from when I moved away from Buffalo. And now I'm on day shift. I got a little bit more time. So I watch a lot more basketball. You know, that's why we've been talking a lot more basketball. But I still don't know. I don't know any of these players no more. Like, who is that? So with college,
it's tough.
Preaching I was tapped in, locked in with college. I got out my college bag. So a lot of these younger players, I just don't know them. So when we come on here on the podcast and Preach start yelling about how, Isaiah Fowler just messed up, like who? I'm like, who is Isaiah Fowler? I don't know who that even is. So at least I'm gonna be able to know some more players. That's in my last more.
That helps. Now that for sure. That definitely gonna help you for sure.
Yeah, I'm be picking up like man. I'm be picking up the Bucks third big man off the bench because I gotta play somebody. So we see. So I did sign up for that. So we see something for the pod. Hopefully we get some content out of it. If we don't get no content out of it, I'm done. Like, it's boring, it's long, and I ain't getting no content, and it's no money. So I'm gonna check out. But I appreciate y'all boys. Yeah, I get some. So I appreciate y'all boys for giving me the real spill for that. I'll let you know how that turned out. Basketball is starting up. Football is full-fledged, going crazy. And y'all know we're here to talk about it, but we have to talk about our guy, Millie, who is not here. But first, where are my manners? This is We Think It's a Sport. So I'm your host, Mike D. I got Rad here. I got my point guard Preach here. And we got a great show for you. Mills is not here. Somebody let people know where Mills is.
He got finessed.
He got finessed. Mills is the biggest lick of all time.
His job finessed him. They quote unquote offer him a better position. But realistically, they just was offering him because everybody else didn't want to do it because they knew it was a bunch of crap. And now he's in a place where he's actually probably doing more work than he was doing when he was here. So shout out to Millie right now.
Man, too much is given, much is required, man. So he's all right. Yeah. He's doing a little bit more for a little more chicken. That's how I gotta go sometimes.
If you're an hour away from Buffalo, we apologize for certain things not being at your door right now. That's all I gotta
say. Yeah, my guy Mills out here. Mills getting it. Mills actually called me when they offered him a different position. I don't think it was this one. The other one was like 3 hours away. I said, absolutely not. I said, unless you want to get divorced, absolutely not. So I guess he was able to get a closer gig. Right? Mills locked in. I give it to Mills. Mills is tapped in. Mills trying to move up. So Mills doing his thing. And so, but we're gonna hold down the pod, Mills. Hopefully you throw this on while you out there, doing your thing. So all right. So what's going on with your boys? We haven't tapped in a minute. How was our weekend? Anything eventful happened? Anything y'all want to talk about?
My weekend was cool, man. My weekend was cool. I didn't do much. Just I guess it was a somewhat, I'm not gonna say kid free, but somewhat kid free weekend. Like most of Saturday was kid free. So, me and the fiance was, just out out doing things and
I saw
just having some good time, some us time. So that's always going to be good, you know. So that was my weekend in a bunch.
So what's going on with the wedding? You know, I'm doing some wedding planning right now. You in the middle of wedding planning. We gotta call. We gotta talk to each other, bro. Well, how are you managing? How you managing?
I'm doing good. I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I need to. I guess the answer for the total wedding, I'm fine with it, you know. But me on my side, I need to, you know, just be better on my side. I've been kind of more interested in the total wedding than my part. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like I haven't been looking for my suit. I haven't been looking for my colors. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh wait, I got a side that I gotta figure out too. So you know what I mean? So
you have
that's
colors?
The biggest issue for me. I haven't even. I have not. Yeah, yes. She has colors, I believe.
On her
but my
side.
point is like I haven't. No, I'm saying like she do have colors, but I haven't even brought it into my mind to start thinking of what I need to get. Yeah. So we just talked about that obviously this weekend. I was like, yo, I should start thinking of my stuff, huh? She's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, you're right. So I mean, we definitely should talk and stuff like that. But I definitely need to get on my end of the wedding side because I just honestly I haven't done it at all. So crazy enough.
Sound like me. Andy about 4-5 books in. She got a Pinterest board and. I'm just, I haven't done a thing, so I'm like,
Shaw already bought her dress.
Where I do
so,
it. I'm late. You got color, so I already got her dress. But I'm in the gym at 5 in the morning. I'm getting ready. I'm sweating for the wedding, so I am in the gym.
Yes, sir.
So, Priest, what's going on with you, brother? How was your weekend?
Oh, it was cool. My oldest brother was in town.
Hey, South Jacob.
It was his birthday. Earlier in the week. Maybe it was last week. But anyways, he was in town, so I saw him. And I think my cousin, he had a revival at church, so he had some preachers in. So he was kind of hanging out. Went to the range yesterday.
Range?
Wait, what range?
The golf range?
Yeah, you gotta specify. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm like, cause I'm talking. I just about the gun range.
Nah. Went to the golf range yesterday. And you know, it just was chilling.
Your Bible and your pistol, huh? Your Bible and your pistol.
What is it? The sword and the shield and sword.
Golf club.
Yeah, it was but it was cool though. I can't complain.
That's what's up. Yeah, I had a solid weekend. I don't know what I even did, to be honest. You know, I'm in school, so I just been studying a lot. I'm hella behind from went out of town, so I just been doing homework, discussions, and mad at shit. So I actually got an exam on Thursday. I gotta write 2 essays, and it's 40 multiple choice. Super wilding. So I'm gonna be after this.
Are you even here? Why you even pie?
You know I got a pie. Pie come first. Pie over everything. So I did want to tap in with y'all because my sister sent me a picture of my niece. And it was Thursday. It was Throwback Thursday day at school. Bro, she was dressed like me. I was like, hold on. I was like, yo, there's no way the way I dress is now throwback. You know, back in the day we had like 80s day, 90s day, 50s day, 60s day. They are now dressing like us, bro.
What does she have?
She had like on some red ones. I don't know where she got some red ones from. She had some red ones on. Little baggy jeans with like a Tupac shirt or something. I was like, yo, I didn't wear that fit. Like me. That was my first day of school fit.
That was my go-to. When I wanted to go to a movie with Shuri, that's what I threw on her. You know what I mean? The Tupac,
the red, big ass red tee with the red ones with some blue jeans. I was like, that was my first day of school fit. You lay that drink out on the bed, like I'm killing them tomorrow. Like that's Throwback Thursday. So I wanted to age y'all boys a little bit. I wanted to age
30.
Yeah,
pretty much 30.
So there is a lot to get to today in sports, but I want to tap in with the culture. I want to tap in with social media. I want to tap in with Facebook. I'm not sure if y'all saw this, but it's like a trend or what going on where red flags.
Yeah.
And everybody is saying, like, what are your red flags? Like in relationships.
That was on Facebook?
Yeah. Well, that's what I saw.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure it started on Twitter.
I'm about to say, I seen it on Twitter, but I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, it's the red flags. So what's a red flag? So obviously we're all in relationships, but back when we was out here, you know, what were some red flags y'all had? Like, you got to
Red flags. I was gonna say something, but I couldn't say that. Something that just jumped out like, bro, I'm wilding. Red flags. I was about to wild out just now.
Go ahead, do it. Ain't Yo, right, you gotta say it now.
You know what I always say when it comes to me and like women I dealt with, or the thing I say all the time. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that.
I don't know what you're talking about. So
Yo,
that's fine. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, I'm wilding.
He wilding. You wilding.
Yeah, I'm wilding. Red flags. I would say red flags is too many like male best friends. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Too many male best friends. It's like maybe one, but 2 and 3 bros.
The whole gang.
Bro, come like, what's this? What, like, what this mean? Like, too many. It's too many of y'all. 1 is fine. 2 is too many. 3, like, bro, we not talking. Maybe that's something off the cuff. So I could see that. Too many bro friends. Too many best friends. I could see maybe could be a red flag.
How about you, Preach? I know Preach got boundaries.
Preach is the boundary.
I don't know. Like
Preach is the boundary, right?
I was just like thinking about it now. It's like I guess it kind of changes over time. So I mean, like now, like I guess 5-10 years ago, what was red flags then, it may not necessarily be red flags now because of maturity. You learn to compromise even within relationships. But I will say, like, I mean, I don't like loud women. I don't like ignorant women. And I guess those are 2 like big ones, like loud and ignorant. Like, So yeah, I think that's it. I'll leave it there because I don't want to be like misogynistic to any of the women out there, any of our women listeners. So I'll just leave it there.
That's all to them. But
it's kind of tough. No, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough because we haven't been on us 3 definitely haven't been on the scene in a while. So it's like we trying to go back to like back then. You know what I mean? So
yeah, red flags.
For me, definitely. Yeah. Red flags.
Like,
no, bro.
I guess so even in that situation, like
how you smell body odor.
Absolutely. But no, that's true. But like
a red flag.
No, that's real.
No, that's a deal breaker.
That's real.
But that's like that's the thing. Like as you get mature, even though there are 30-year-olds who stink, right? I'm sure, but like generally, you know what I'm saying? It's not. You don't come across that often. But I will say, like, if you are a person who constantly always like gotta have a conversation, I'm out. I'll check out. And what I mean by that is it's just like, yo, stop texting me all these words, dude. Like
that's a good one.
I can't.
That's a good one.
I just check out.
Like a long joint.
Yeah, I'm not reading it. Like after a while, I'm just not gonna read it. Like I will not. I'll respond, but I won't read it. Like I'll if in those first sentences, if I don't get a good thesis, I'm checked out and I'm over it. So like that's only my that is one of my pet peeves. Not like I'm not saying you can't ever do it, but if you constantly want to do that, nah, it's a rap taco, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. One time there's one shorty, she sent me like probably 300 words in text or whatever the case it was. I looked at it. I texted her back. I said, I ain't reading that. Mind you, that's the last time I ever talked to her. She was like, she was so tired, bro. She was so tired. Am I reading this? Are you kidding me? I don't even rock with you like that enough to spend that much time dissecting and trying to figure out what's going on. I said, I'm not reading that. And that was it. So, but for me, I just thought about this. And it is if you call Saweetie or JT or Ari or any of them joints, sis, like it's over. Like I already know what
your real relationship with them.
Yeah, like nah, it's super quiet. It's super quiet. I know you for the streets. It's over. I can't do it. I can't do it.
You know, it's funny you even said that. Like
You can't be a part of nobody army or nothing. You can't be
No,
a bar, or you can't be a navy.
You could do Beehive. You could be in the Navy. You could do the Navy.
I don't like that.
I'm talking about. Well, I ain't mad at you, but the army, like that's different. Like that's the different type of army. Like your
Ari and other people like why she your sis?
Yeah.
Or calling like little baby, that's my brother and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like, yo,
that's cool.
We're 30.
That's not okay.
He's not your brother.
That's
like,
not
he's
okay.
just not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that.
For that.
It is quiet for that. Like all like that fanfare. I'm not saying you can't be a fan of something or someone, but like just that being so enamored with a specific person, I just get a little leery because it's like, what are
it give you follower vibes? It gives you like not follower vibes, but it give you like, you know,
what is important
like,
to you?
I don't. It's like that's not like, you know, it's like you really gonna put in that much effort in that, you know? It's like I hear you.
Like we ain't talking about Michelle Obama or something like come on,
or we just not talking about something you getting something back from.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's just you literally just pouring that all in. It's like they don't even know you.
They would know you. They would know you. Like yo, they will get on somebody comments and start cussing them out, going crazy over somebody that won't walk right by you. They call security if you try to run up on them, and you defending them like crazy. Like yo, we gotta chill.
I got another one. I got one too. I got one. I would say, like, if you with somebody that like just don't have nobody they like will stop talking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people who just always got the right answer in every group, in every setting. It's like, damn, who do you listen to?
What do you mean?
Like, who do you listen to? Like, you know, like when I've been around women who just kind of, no matter what circle they in, they know. You know what I'm
like
saying?
They
it's
know
like,
what?
they know whatever the subject is. It's like
they're know-it-all.
Yeah, or either a know-it-all or just like never stop talking to listen to somebody who might he said somebody who might have been to school and they actually did something, and you still coming with your idea. It's like, yo, he actually
what's funny?
did it. Are you listening to him?
What's
no,
funny
and it's like they just talking. It's like, yo, that's I just like, all right, that's a red alert, because like you won't even listen to somebody who's telling you they been there. So who you listen to? Who do you listen to? You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't have nobody you listen to, so that's a red flag to me.
That's funny. My girl may accuse me of that, but you know what though? It's funny you say that. What how I put it is, the issue is like I'm well versed in a lot of things.
You are
like, and that's why I try to tell her like I'm well versed in a lot of things. And it's not that I'm saying that I know it all, but I do have a keen perspective. I was really just saying this, honest to God. Like, I honestly believe that I'm really valuable to the world because I do have a different perspective on a lot of things. I just believe that. I don't think that that's a wrong thing to believe. I had to call Mike. I had to call Mike yesterday because I was telling her we was at the court. I was telling her like, yo, I actually built our high school gym. Like, I built it. You know what I mean, right? Do you?
Wow.
But Rad,
that phone call, Rad.
Are you saying wow as in if I didn't?
I just blanked out. Honestly, I just literally
no, Rad.
It was like a loss for words. Like, this. What's that show? I feel like what's the show?
But Mike agreed.
In a different reality.
Okay, listen to this though. Let me lay it out.
The something zone or some shit.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like I was in the Twilight Zone or something. Like, what are you saying right now?
What I'm saying is that Hutch Tech Gym, on Chippewa, or was it Elmwood? Where are we at? On Elmwood.
You don't even know. That's the problem.
It's Chippewa Elmwood because actually it's dually aligned. But anyways, we got a new gym. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the gym they was working on before you even got to actual
Hutch
Tech.
But nobody played in that gym except, I mean, not now, obviously, multiple people have, but like at that point, nobody had played in that gym, right? Because we all agree on that.
Yeah. Okay,
we got in there. I was the first person to hit a shot. That's a fact. And subsequently following that, like I probably was. I was. It's a fact. Mike was there.
Like in the game?
No, just like the first person to actually hit any shot that was in the new gym.
Like they had like the Niagara Falls. It was like some crazy tournament. Well, it was Tech, Niagara Falls.
I'm saying
Sweet.
the first practice.
Yeah.
I know, but
first
you was there. You went there because you was on varsity.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
y'all had practice, and y'all was there early. It was you, Buzz, and Chuck.
Yeah. But my point is, even subsequently after that, we don't have to stay on this a long time because it's just a fact.
This is nuts.
Like I
Zone.
built the gym. Like most of the good games that ever happened in that gym, I was a part of. That's my point. And
I would give you that
okay, thank you, Mike.
because I was part of those same games as well.
Absolutely, and you
We definitely in the fucking Twilight Zone right now. This is
no,
crazy.
we're not
Okay.
in the Twilight
Let me
Zone.
finish.
Mike is a part of like the hashtag gym was built on
You
his
said
shoulders.
you built. What are y'all talking about?
Like-
not
like-
physically
Yeah,
built it,
like
but the house
figuratively.
that Johnny built.
Yes.
Like yo, we put the.
I know exactly what y'all talking about. That's the problem, though.
So I don't know why you're not agreeing.
I know exactly what you guys are talking about.
Why you don't
I
agree?
fought all the losses too. I was there watching y'all
So,
lose.
but
too.
people
I know
lost.
that.
People lose. That's not to say that people don't lose.
Yeah, we lose.
So when Peyton Manning built the house, he was winning every game.
That's
in that
not true. He
motherfucker.
lost a lot.
In Lucas Oil.
He lost games. My point is, he lost games. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, we won more than we lost now
At home.
In that,
Especially
in
at home.
So I don't know what.
I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. On the road, different
Okay.
story. At home, especially on JV, I don't think we lost a game there. They keep it, but Rad was on the team, man. Shout out to Rad.
Let me-
Rad, you should have got playing.
And let me say this too, because we did pivot. I just wanted to throw that out there. But I did have another pet peeve, and we can kind of get into another topic before we move on to sports. I did want to ask y'all this. My other pet peeve is I kind of look. I don't want to say judge, but I analyze what you watch on television, and not so much music. Music is just a little bit different. I do sort of analyze that too. Like if you listen to like
No Bad Girls Club. No Real Housewives.
it's not so much it's just like if you are consumed with that type of content, if you watch like a lot of Family Guy and like the thing with the horse, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's called, but I think BoJack Horse or something like that. You ever heard of it?
Okay, I think I know what you're
That
talking about.
like stuff like that. Like I just kind of question where your mind is at. Like if you're up at it, like if you watch like Hey Arnold at 9, like if you like stuff like that, it's like is something not progressing in your mind? You know what I mean? Like why do you still watch cartoons? You know what I'm saying?
I know at 9.
Not like anime. Like if you have an anime fetish, and that's to each his own. But if you are still like constantly watching cartoons, I question like what is going on with you. And I wanted to pivot and ask y'all like what are y'all watching right now?
Sports.
That's it.
I rarely watch TV.
Yeah, I don't watch TV at all.
If I do, I'm not trying to. If I do, it's on actual television.
I'm just saying like a show.
I watch Shark Tank.
Okay, I watch
Oh,
Shark
a
Tank.
show.
Yeah, like the
I watch
show.
Shark Tank. That's the one. A show. Sean got me on something called. Shit, I don't even know. It's like I watch it when I'm with her and she watching it. So I'm not really watching it. One of those things. She kind of put me on game when I get there. So it's called Made. It's Made. She saw something on Made on Netflix. I mean, it's not really my cup of tea. It's kind of like watching somebody else's life. I'm not real big on like. I don't know. I'm not real big on like soap opera things. Like it's like anything can happen or like I don't know. I need to know that it's a beginning and end. Like I'm big on movies, I guess. I'm more big over movies because now I'm trying to figure out the movie, trying to construct it. Like how do they series is like you can just throw a cousin in that. It's like you can throw evil twin. You're cheating. Like I feel like that's kind of cheating. So usually when she do those type of things, I kind of tap out. Typically, I kind of want to see a structure of like, oh, this makes sense because they planted that seed like 2 episodes ago. You know what I'm saying? But so things like that kind of draw me in.
Okay.
And I'm not watching nothing currently like that. I'm waiting for that new. I got one. I'm waiting for that new. Fire series. I'm waiting for that new Game of Thrones, the prequel that's coming.
House of Dragon.
House of Dragon.
Absolutely.
House of Dragons. I'm waiting for that.
I was watching Power. Nostalgia 50.
how was it?
450. It wasn't bad.
Kanan?
Yeah, Kanan. So The acting, no, could always be better for sure. But the storyline was fine, right? It kept me entertained.
Everybody told me it got better. People were saying it got better. It started because my dad, the one who took me off. He said the first episode was terrible. He said don't watch it.
Well,
so I didn't watch it.
Terrible. The second one was one of the worst episodes.
Whatever. So he just told me not to watch it, and I was like, I bet. So I just never. But I mean, people said it got better. Though.
They said the BMF joint fire.
I watched the first episode of that. I gotta catch up. And then I had my I binge watched Squid Game.
How was that?
So I watched that. I liked it. Right? It's anime. It's like live action anime. I thought it was fire. I thought it was interesting. It's unique. Like it's nothing I ever saw before. Yeah. So it was like, all right, this is dope. So I liked it. I'll recommend it. And if you're gonna listen to it, watch it in like the native language and just do subtitles. That's the way to go. That's what I do, at least.
I just watched that. I finally just watched that Britney doc. That Britney Spears.
Oh, where you watched that?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. How was
Sean?
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. I don't.
Yeah.
It was interesting learning about what happened with her. I say that. I say just knowing that game. It was like, wow, how that could have happened to somebody. You know what I mean? The documentary clearly, is on Britney's side, obviously.
Yeah.
Coming from her perspective, but it was really kind of like, I'm not gonna say super fan. It was just kind of somebody following the story along, doing their best part. It was crazy. What is it? I can't even say the
conservatory, something like that.
Conservatorship or something like that.
Yeah,
just that knowing that's possible and how that can get, how long he had it, and it was just crazy. I mean, I think they finally just gave it up not too long ago. So that was just crazy.
How about you, Priest? What you got? What you watching? Some docs?
I don't necessarily watch docs. Only because like the content now, like you can find that information readily everywhere. Like I don't need you to. I mean, I guess if it's just a really, 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 really good doc, I guess I would have to tune in. But like, there's so much stuff on YouTube you could just watch on that subject matter or just read. Like, you know what I mean? So many excerpts. So it's like I don't really get into docs. I tend to, like, I like political shows or historical pieces. That's really only because, I mean, they just tell us a lot about the world and a lot of how things going on. I was watching Billions.
How was that?
It's a great show from the standpoint of it just puts a lot of themes in perspective, like capitalism being inherently evil, and it's like it just calls into question like
evil.
Yeah, absolutely. It produces evil at every turn. There's no way capitalism cannot produce evil. Period. It just has to.
Why? Because of the patriarchy.
Why? Because absolute power corrupts absolutely.
That, and I mean, just the idea of it, you can't, like, the idea of being philanthropic and being a capitalist is oxymoronic. That's like, it just doesn't make sense. You cannot have it, and that's the thing. It's like, so, like, as you keep trying to make money, eventually you're going at some point, like, you're going to say to hell with whoever. You're going to minimalize people. It's going to be for self-interest. And that's like, that show is just, it kind of shows you, it's like, okay, those values, like, do I really want to be rich? It really hit me. Like, I don't want to be wealthy in that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a billionaire. Yeah, I do not want to be a billionaire. I don't. I would prefer.
And one of whole freestyles, he said, no, I'm on a road to $1 billion. No, Lord, forgive me of my sins. Like that I'm about to commit. So because he already knew on that road to $1 billion, it's going to take something.
Absolutely.
So I feel you. I feel on that. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it because it's like, right, if I work hard, like sometimes it's like if the harder you work, you get a payoff. And I think it should be like that. But at the end, for the people that's already ahead, they stay ahead and you can never catch them. So in a sense, I feel you on that. But I don't think everybody is evil. You think just everybody that's rich is evil?
Absolutely.
Or does something evil? Really?
Every person. Doesn't matter.
Dude, so what's the alternative?
That was a thought process I was thinking. I was racking my brain. I don't know. Obviously there's different forms of government. Yeah, I mean there are million. There are different forms of government everywhere. There are different forms of government.
China is socialism.
I know, but we put a negative connotation on so many other things, and we highlight like these ideals of like what American has sold us, and it's like it's just one way of thinking. That's all it is. I'm not saying
course,
that it's not a good way of thinking, but it is just only one way of thinking. And like again, like I like to couple those shows with political shows because it's like those are quote unquote ideals, right? Like those are the things that we kind of push, especially like the other countries and stuff. But it's just like some of it is just like it's trash. I am not saying that wealth is not great because God gives us the ability to get wealth. Like I'm not saying that you are not supposed to have nice things, but what I am saying is that I do think it gets to a point where too much is too much. You cannot like period. Too much is too much. And I think that some people in America, they have too much. And so I honestly believe that there are certain laws that we should really enact to stop at a certain point. We can stop it. We can. We could just stop. You don't think so? Like we can stop
why?
people.
Because we preach the whole, American dream.
But that's the first.
Whatever.
But that's
I know.
it's not real. That's like it's legitimately not. But that's my point.
Yeah, but Sam,
that's
but
my
the
point.
issue with that is the whole you saying all the stuff you when you saying somebody can put the limit, you're trusting the people who created capitalism in a sense to put the limit on capitalism, and now they can control the limit, move up as such. They know the backbone. They know they gonna create the law and gonna know those loopholes to the law too. So
I understand your point, but that is how it is constructed in America. I am not saying put the onus back to the politicians. I'm just saying that we need to put a cap. Now, how we get to that cap and who allows the cap, I don't know yet.
Politicians.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be politicians. I mean, people, but other forms of government, it could be the people.
What? Give me an example of the people doing something recently. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be serious.
No.
Like realistically, is that possible?
When you say, is it possible? There are different, there are different forms of government that people sustain in other places where
we got monopoly. I mean, you're not supposed to able to do a monopoly. What's it called?
Yeah,
monopolize or whatever it is.
But people,
monopoly. Yeah.
Walmart is a monopoly.
Facebook,
Amazon is a monopoly. They're too big to fail. Amazon, Apple, that's a monopoly. Like we can say Samsung, but like at the end of the day,
it's not a monopoly.
Apple is a monopoly. Yes, it is, and it has monopolized everything that they have.
Like they got competitors though. They got they got real people in the field. They're not just. It's other people. Are all of us using Apple right now?
Yes.
You using Apple?
Mm-hmm.
You got Apple? I'm talking about the computer.
Yes.
I'm not saying that they don't have real competitors, but I'm saying it is a monopoly though.
Angie got one right there. We got an iPad out in the front room.
Yeah, but but we are basing things off obviously the quote unquote free world, or we in the United States, we privileged, we in this scenario. You know what I mean?
But I mean, we are privileged as it relates to certain people. But even in that, rest of the world, yeah. Sometimes I push back on that. Like, of course, obviously, third world countries and things of that nature. But like certain ideals that we push is just all right, y'all. Like, let's really really analyze it. Like being wealthy, what does that really mean? That means you really you crapping over people. Like, case in point. I was watching Bills. I was listening to a podcast. It was like, yo, at the end of the day, like any of our black millionaires are not, they cease really to be black. They're just millionaires. They're billionaires. There is no such thing as a black billionaire because once you become a billionaire, it doesn't matter.
Well, race is social construct.
That's great. That's great. That's not a bad thing.
No. I'm not.
That's a bad thing?
No, it's not so much a bad thing or a good thing. It's just like money is
all the fake stuff go away. Yeah. All the not fake stuff, but all the stuff that don't matter.
Well, that's
fine with me.
That's not true.
I don't want it to matter now.
A white millionaire still thinks that they're better than a black billionaire. So I mean,
it doesn't. What a white millionaire thinks, though.
Yeah, I don't care.
No. But you do. You do care because those people affect policy and they affect things that can hurt people. So you have to care.
If I got $1 billion, bro, nothing y'all do is gonna affect me. I am Gucci.
Well, I mean,
I don't know who the president even is.
In theory,
this is my pushback to that, Sam. My pushback to that is like, because I know what you're saying. It is a point where it's like you in the game now. You in the game of capitalism.
It's
now it's like
race, and now it's a class.
It's always class.
Yeah, now it's like I'm in the game. I'm in there. I'm trying to conquer everything I can do. You in the game, and now you consumed by the game. Now, it is a point where people get too consumed by the game. I agree with that now because Bezos doing all this stuff.
But why is it a game?
It's just
right?
like, bro,
what you call
That's
it?
why even
Because
referring
it's
to it
like-
as a
because it's
game,
like
it's
Big
life.
Bang
This is like
no, it's a game to
this
them.
is like life. This is not a game. No. You saying it's a
life
game?
to somebody. Yeah,
You're right,
it is a game to them.
and that's
When
the
you
problem.
transcend levels, things get different. Like Jeff,
You got
Jeff Bezos
billionaires going to Mars. All that's
that's a game, Sam. If he,
No,
if he
I
can
agree.
Buy,
I'm saying
he can
that's
buy a
wrong,
land.
though.
That's games to him. He don't care.
I'm saying
it's,
that's
it's like
wrong.
it's write-offs and things.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It is what
That's
it
crazy.
is. Why?
I know
What makes that wrong? Though?
It makes it wrong because when you say it's a game, like he's moving chess pieces that are human beings, right? Like these are like legit humans.
So what?
You're
I'm
saying
not
so
saying
what? But
so
that's
what,
but like that's the problem.
That's
It's-
human nature. That's
But
that's
no,
human
it's not.
history.
It's not. No, it's not human nature. It is not history. Capitalism is
Sam,
not
don't-
something that just like
Sam.
Rat. What you gotta understand
Don't do
is
this.
it's just a fact. No, you can just
I'm
read
not talking
it.
about.
All you
I'm
gotta do
not
is
talking about
read.
capitalism being human history. I'm talking about
I mean, capitalism is
how
not something that happened in the beginning of the
people at the
time.
top use the people at the bottom. What are you talking about? That's
Well, I mean that you could. I mean that's feudalism, but that's something that. But that's different from capitalism. Those are two different things. Feudalism is just a feudal system. That means that there can be a king, there can be people at the top, there can be the bourgeoisie or whatever you want to call them in your certain society, and there are also quote unquote peasants or working class or whatever.
With that is that you really couldn't move classes. You were born peasant, you almost died.
But that doesn't mean that
Tell
that's
me the
necessarily
biggest-
a
tell me
bad
the-
way
tell
of
me the
thinking.
biggest
But that's
tell
what
me the biggest
capitalism
difference.
is, though. Like
Sam,
that,
but Sam, tell me-
they sell us on this farce, but that's what capitalism is. That's really what it
But
is.
tell me the difference.
It's a
Tell me
feudal
your
system.
tell me your difference between the major differences between Jeff Bezos and King Tut.
Jeff
Tell me
Bezos.
the biggest difference to you.
the-
Tell me
the-
what you
the-
think is like
Well, it's those
how
are
they move and what they do. Powerful stroke, like you know what I mean. Obviously not killing people. Obviously the major one is killing people. But besides
Jeff
the actual
Bezos.
death, tell me the biggest difference.
Jeff Bezos is not King Tut. King Tut was a dictator. He literally.
Okay, just tell me the biggest difference.
The biggest difference is he can judge someone's life, whether they live or
Okay.
die. In an instant of a moment, Jeff Bezos, he can affect lives. That's a fact. By certain things that he do.
So you say so now.
But
So
he doesn't-
socially,
he
now,
doesn't-
He can do that socially. He can kill somebody's life socially, right? Not maybe figuratively like King
but
Tut.
saying
He can kill you
socially and
socially.
saying figuratively, Rad. I'm talking about King Tut was literally he was the king of an entire
Sam.
nation. Jeff
Yeah,
Bezos is
yeah,
not the
but I'm
king of an
saying-
entire nation. We have a government.
Yes, but you
Like we have senators,
I
we
hear
have
you,
a
but-
president. Like they have
like-
power. That's real power. You can wield power.
Yeah, but what just happened
Like-
to John
like-
Gruden just now is like he socially killed.
Yeah, but
He's done.
that's a mere bag of shells. I'm saying like we're talking about apples and oranges. But my point is when you're talking about like a dictator or
Obviously,
somebody
capitalism, I can't
who's
compare-
running a
no,
country,
yeah.
like that's crazy. Like you know what I mean? Like that's legit ultimate absolute
know.
power. Jeff
I know.
Bezos doesn't have
All
ultimate
my-
absolute power. He just has money.
I don't. He has.
man, Zuckerberg shot this
All right.
finger and people lost their
All right.
for 6 hours.
No,
If that
true,
ain't absolute power,
but-
I don't know what.
All
it
right.
is.
No. I'm not saying that they don't have power. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah,
Biden
you
can
know,
snap his
he
finger and
doesn't
then
have an
it's all of a
army.
sudden it's World War VII and we're dropping nukes. That's different. Like Jeff Bezos can't drop a nuke.
Jeff Bezos can go kill somebody in Australia and get away with it.
Yeah, you
I
can
tell you
too.
that much.
But
Yeah, too.
but homie
All
around the way.
right.
You know how
Okay.
many unsolved murders it is, right? Like I mean, it's a cold case.
Yeah, I'm
Niggas,
saying,
niggas
I'm
kill-
saying like if
people
I'm saying
kill
he
people
can-
every day, b. Like with no
I'm saying
consequences.
what I'm
you go to
saying
east
is
side of
now-
Chicago,
no,
they
they
giving
not-
it up.
Sam, no, they're not killing people. Yes, they're
No,
not.
they
killing
are
people,
killing
but
people.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos
I mean,
is
Jeff
actually
Bezos,
killing people.
Bill Gates can have a sex island and human traffic. They doing people can.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
Epstein.
they are doing that.
Yeah, Epstein.
Epstein, yes, they're doing that,
Yeah, but so it's other people, right?
and that's
like
powerful
but,
people. though.
Right. But like
That's
corruption,
what I mean, though.
corruption and
King
evil.
Tut was doing
you
that.
don't don't have to have like money to be bad. So I don't. That's
Man.
I guess
know that.
before I do want to get to John Gruden, but I
There's
guess
levels of
what
that.
do you have a number in mind that people should be capped at preach before we move on? I'm curious.
You don't. It's a bad. Because you gonna keep. What is the number? It's imaginary.
That's what I'm asking them.
I think like 750 million. I don't think anybody should get to $1 billion.
What is that? What did that even mean?
I think we should show.
What does that mean?
I think.
money social contract.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter because.
So you should. So time out. So you think you should stop them from making money. So like whatever, like so Amazon had to be capped, obviously,
Yes.
and then that money they continue to generate go to other people.
Yes.
All righty.
That's socialism. All right. I preach
A form of it.
Socialism bad. I'm mad
Right?
at that.
Like you can
Yeah.
so case in point, like the lowest Amazon worker, instead of them making $17 an hour, they can make $35 an hour.
So why do you think Jeff Bezos was continue to make money for y'all other people? He
Well,
would stop. He was like, no.
But just
Like why
but-
would you're taking away the incentive to be great. You're taking
No,
away
I'm
the incentive
not.
to be the best ever.
But
because
that's
if you
the
cap
problem
me at
is
750, I'm
you're
never gonna even
equating,
go close to that
but
750.
why are you equating money with greatness when we know that that's not the truth? Having more money doesn't
Obviously.
mean that you're great. I don't I don't
if
know
we're
why
in
we can equate those,
But
because
if
there
you in the
there are a lot of
business
people
Jeff
who,
Bezos,
but that's the point. When you are in America, capitalism, that is the point of it. That is the point.
I
It's the person
agree,
who can
Sam.
make the most money. That's the point of
but
it.
there's
But that
always
doesn't
going to be
mean
somebody
that you're
who's going to be
good.
making more than everybody else.
Yeah, right. Because
What do you
preach,
mean?
no, but preach, for example, you say Amazon go up to $35 an hour.
I'll just as an
You know how
example.
many people? I know, but I'm glad you did. How many people is going to go and be engineers, whatever, if I could just go to Amazon and make $35? Like having money be an incentive is a good one. It's not the only
It's a
one.
great one.
but
It's
It's
wealth
a
is-
good one.
Well, money has
It's
always
both is
been
an
an
incentive.
incentive. I'm not
Yeah,
denying,
exactly.
but what we're talking about capitalism though. I think like we're missing it.
Yes, yes, I know what you're saying.
Like capitalism
you're saying.
itself is evil.
Hmm?
It's just a
I'm
fact.
not mad at that.
It always
That's a
produces.
strong word.
No, it's not a strong word.
Nothing-
It's
You
just
so you
Rad.
think something?
Every-
besides
I-
the devil, you think some things is just straightly evil. It's no.
I believe that every
good side to it.
human.
Is it a
I
good side to
believe that.
capitalism?
But every human on the planet is innately evil, right? Like we all have an
Of course,
inclination to
and
do
good.
evil things. No, no.
And good.
No, we all have the inclination to do evil. We also, by the grace of God, we know what good is because of him, and we can produce that because he has allowed us to. But just your, like, the first thing that you, boom, your innate ability, boom, when you wake up in the morning, evil is always on your mind. It's a fact. Everybody.
Let's talk about some real evil.
Yo, that's
And
crazy.
let's
You don't
talk
believe
about
that?
John- that's crazy. Let's talk
No,
about
I
John Gruden.
see my kid every morning. I don't believe that. I don't think my 2-year-old daughter's thinking. My 8-year-old daughter's thinking of evil. How would
Well,
I
she
think that?
doesn't-
Why would I think that?
Well, I mean, what you're saying, I'm saying right from wrong, but they're like what I'm saying is we are. I mean, this is like a religious. Now we're moving into that, but we're conceived in sin, right? So it's like
I agree.
our whole being is evil. Like we are not good. We have to be made good, right? Like we have to be made righteous. We have like me myself. I'm not right. Like even just because we can move on like that. Now we get
I
into
agree.
it.
No, because I agree. No, I do agree on some point because like it's the thing where I was reading something that like everybody got to come to the realization if you were like if you was in Germany and if you was one of the people, you might have ended up being a Nazi. Like you gotta see that, or if you was in America during the time you was a white man in America coming over, you might have had slaves. Like you know what I mean? Like you gotta think like that's possible. You think all that is completely evil, but you gotta see that little bit of humanity that was in them is in you as well. So I ascribe to that. Like you gotta be like, yo, if that was a circumstance, people always assume that if I was in those circumstances, I would have did the right thing. Like that's, I mean, I think to assume that is the wrong thing to assume. I think you should think you probably would have went wrong with the crowd because that's what most people do. I understand that.
I would say this, that I have these thoughts sometimes, like if 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years from now, if PETA had their way in some kind of way, it turned into Animal Farm and dogs, can talk and speak, and they say, yo, we hate being pets. And I know if I was still around, I wouldn't be. I'd be like, yo, I had pets. Like I would feel bad. Cause like, did they feel like slaves to us? Even though I'm sure they don't, and everything a little deep. But I thought you were saying like,
I don't know that.
Just we are just living, and we think everything is cool.
Especially here,
100 to 1,000 years from now, we may realize like, yo, that was fucked up what we was doing to those animals.
Especially here in America, though, we believe that we are always right in every situation, and I just like. Some things just like I push back on, like certain things I push back on.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. You should always have a skeptic, a natural skeptic.
Rad said question everything. So questions for John Gruden. What was going on with John Gruden, man? Shout out to John Gruden. He just he resigned. See, I wish Mills was here. Was it Mills that pointed that out? some black coach got fired, but then some white coach resigned or something. They play semantics when on ESPN.
I think Anthony Lynn got fired. And then somebody else resigned.
Yeah, somebody else resigned. Remember, like Nerve Turner, like he didn't resign a million times. But John Gruden resigned. He didn't get fired.
I don't know if they were gonna fire him. Do we know that?
I mean,
I might know.
I don't know.
Say that
they say more emails. The more emails came out. They saying that what I heard is the NFL wanted. They told the Raiders to essentially to fire him, and they didn't. They let him coach Sunday, and it was like a. Wow. We got more emails. If you don't, it was like a follow up like Monday, like, yo,
they're gonna suspend him.
It's a
no, they need to fire him.
But I think
there was no suspension in play. It was fire or fire.
That's why the NFL is a joke. The NFL is a joke.
Well, let's lay out what the situation is for everybody before we get into it. And anybody want to do that?
I just
sure. Sure. So I can go. So.
I can do it. I did an interview with Zerko if you want me to, because I learned some stuff from him. So everybody tap into an interview I did with Big Zerko.
Oh yeah, good interview.
Raiders insider. He gave us the real deal. So pretty much, Dan Snyder is being investigated, the owner of the Washington football team. So Gruden kind of like got caught up in the mix, but Dan Snyder is being investigated. He got a whole bunch of emails. So they're going all through all these emails, and they found some emails from John Gruden. And in there, it was emails of him. The very first one was about Smith. What is he, the vice president of the Players Union or something? NFLPA. President of the NFLPA. And I guess Gruden and him had some smoke. And Gruden said that he got lips the size of Michelin tires. Like a very old outdated black trope about black people having big lips.
But that's not whatever. Okay.
If it was funnier, he could have got away with it.
I don't. But like,
if he was funny, I would have been fine. It's like that wasn't even funny.
I laughed a little bit.
I thought if it was even more funnier, I think he would have been fine. Like if it's funny, it's a joke.
Yeah,
but I mean, you could finish. I don't want to, fit you.
I don't. But I don't think his intent was to be racist. I just think he the
you don't know intent.
No, I do know. I do know intent because I can look at the Morris Smith lips and it's big. He got big lips. Like that's my problem. My only issue about it is he got big lips. Like if he didn't have, if he did not have big lips, then that would be an issue. But he actually had. Like I'm looking at his lips. Like the dude got big lips. Like he made a joke, and he ain't like that nigga.
I hear you, but
he don't have to like him.
The thing is, I'm gonna get back to it. But like, even if his favorite food was fried chicken, if John Gruden put that in the email, it's gonna look bad. You just gotta be smarter.
I agree with that.
I know what you're saying. Here's $100 million. You gotta be at that time he didn't. So that happened, and that came out. That was noticed. Smith was. They was talking about it, and this came on Friday, maybe Saturday. Gruden still coached Sunday. He didn't seem very apologetic at all. He that was 10 years ago. Like who remembers what they said 10 years ago? Blah blah blah. Monday happened.
I agree with that too. I do agree with that.
I agree with that.
10 years ago, and what I said in the email, I don't know, bro.
You can't say that.
Yes, you can.
This is my.
I hear you can't say that. I do agree with that.
How old was you 10 years ago?
So oblivious.
How old was you 10 years ago?
For me, I was 19.
We were 19. If Apple released my messages,
don't do it, Sam. Everybody, it's everybody. That's everybody.
So that's what I'm saying. So should we lose our jobs now?
No.
Because of what we saying?
No.
I'm asking,
Mike
Mike.
expecting something different.
But from what I'm saying is,
Mike expects something different.
Because we did some wild shit in the past.
Absolutely.
If that shit came up today, I would be like, yeah, I was wilding.
I'm not.
Even though that was 10 years ago. I know that's you.
I was not wilding.
I
was just living in the time. That was the time, though, Mike. I was giving it up because that's
we was wilding.
Whether I was wilding or not, it was the time,
19.
though.
He was 48.
And I agree with that too.
And that's totally different thing. But it's right now, and I am the head coach of a football team.
But
I'm going to be apologetic.
That's like saying, "Yo, I said I hate kids, and now I got a child. Should I get up with my child?" I mean, I don't know what. I'm just saying, yes, nigga, 10 years ago, you will be in a different place in life. I would hope. So I mean, the stuff that you did see, but do y'all know the misogynistic things he said?
Let me just keep going.
You gonna say that? I didn't hear that.
Let me all out.
That would Mike finish.
So that came out. Then Monday, they said we got more emails, and come to, I guess CBS got it. It's like 600,000 emails.
Oh, he was wild.
The one was that
New York Times.
he said that Roger Goodell forced Jeff Fisher to draft a queer. And he was talking about Michael Sam. You know, Michael Sam came out of the draft, and he was taken maybe 5th round by the Titans or the Rams then. And it was he was like the ACC, not ACC. What conference was he in with Alabama, right?
He was a good player. Like, it wasn't like he wasn't a bad player.
Yeah, and he went all the way down in the 5th round. But it makes sense a little bit for his athleticism.
He was right. He was right.
Yeah, but the whole he called him a queer. Can't do that. I guess it was
you can't call him a queer. At that time, you could call people queers, right?
That's actually honestly
I thought that was a good term.
It was like a TV show, like Queer Eye
for the Straight Guy,
something like that. So I don't know what.
So wait, time out. Right now, before you finish, right now is bad. I can't call like a gay guy queer. I can't call it. That's definitely inappropriate.
I think queer is off limits now.
Bad. Yeah,
but
is it?
I think at the time, I don't know if queer was off limits though.
Only if you're saying it as LGBTQ, because the Q stand for queer. But if you just call somebody that,
I'm calling.
You can't do that.
If it's in the LGBTQ, I'm calling.
I didn't know that. I honestly
didn't
know
that. Stupid. Like I don't even know what that means. But my point is,
Yeah,
I don't know if 10 years. I definitely didn't know that now. But I'm sure nobody knew that 10 years ago. I will. Can I show him some bill on that?
Come on, but this is why I have my problem with you is that I feel like you're going out your way. Because
I'm not. He just called a nigga queer. Like the nigga's gay.
Email.
What?
But it's saying that he made him draft a queer.
That's a fact.
Draft Michael Sam.
But why are we not getting on the NFL for making them do that? That's what we got to. What we got to talk about, Mike.
No, because we want the NFL to hire more black coaches, and we want them to. You got the Rooney Rule and they got all those stuff, man. I don't have a problem with them forcing people to do that.
That's That's a qualified thing, though.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So then him and Bob Allen, they were sending back pictures of like
Bruce
Allen, pictures of the Washington Redskins at the time, cheerleaders, I guess, doing some crazy wild.
Come on, bro. Like, yo, we gotta stop, bro.
Relax,
like,
bro.
Come on, Mike. Yo, what are we talking about?
Just letting people
I know, but like, why are we doing this? The man can't talk about women.
We could get right. You could get right into.
We get right into it.
Misogynistic.
You go, Mike.
Take you want to do. And then the last thing was that I guess him and he didn't like the NFL hire a lot of women reps.
Me either.
And you have said that. And then the very last thing was he called Roger Goodell the F word.
Oh my God!
I guess right there.
God.
Oh, that's the P word.
What's the F word?
Oh,
I'm not saying it.
I thought it was the P word.
So, a bundle of sticks.
A packet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess he called Roger Goodell that.
I don't mind that.
It's probably more emails. It's 600,000 emails. John Gruden is just the first.
Especially back
John
then.
Gruden is just the first domino to fall.
Oh, so it's gonna be more.
It's 600,000 emails they're going through.
Oh, yeah,
so who
crazy.
knows?
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy.
It's like Benghazi all over or something.
It's definitely Benghazi.
So that's John.
How do y'all feel?
He got fired, or he resigned on Monday from all the backlash he got from his emails.
Before we get into specifics,
Quinn Snyder doesn't own the team anymore, right?
Yeah,
he owns it.
He still owns the team.
What's the question? How do y'all feel about just taking John Gruden and what the specifics happened? How do y'all feel about just what happened? Just an investigation happened. Your personal emails was leaked, and now you got fired because of some personal emails. How do you feel about that? Then?
I think that
was in emails.
That's an invasion of privacy. That is an invasion of privacy.
It's not though, because
it is.
Snyder gave up the email.
No, that's fine.
Snyder
but what I'm saying is John Gruden, he was not an employee of the NFL at the time. He was a private citizen working for a private company. You are invading his personal space, but you can do it. Just like when the government, don't get me wrong, I don't know all of it, but I know like when the government is like investigating other people, like if they got a warrant for one thing, they can't just like all of a sudden tap into something else. Or if they hear like
sometimes they can.
No. Sometimes they can if it's under certain statutes. But I'm saying like in general, you can't just start wilding. You don't have the free reign to just like do everything. And even in this situation, if you are investigating Quinn Snyder, what makes this pertinent to him? It doesn't.
Well, and that's the thing.
They got
Dan
leaked.
Snyder.
Somebody got it.
Dan Snyder is CBS or something, but Dan Snyder, he has immunity from everything that's about to come out. So I'm assuming it's some terrible shit.
So
in
what
there.
is going on
And
then?
I think Dan Snyder is CYA. He's covering his ass. He has immunity, and I think he's throwing everybody.
When you say
under the
immunity,
bus.
what do you like from the NFL?
Yeah, he has.
I mean, he's the owner. He don't got to do nothing. They can't kick him. They can't.
I think
what can they do to him?
I think in this climate, they would make him sell.
Yeah,
I think in this climate,
but
you would make
How
him sell.
how are they
What's
gonna
the
do
sell?
that though? Did he signed a
You know
morality
how-
clause?
What he was talking about? I don't know what it'd be, but I feel like in this climate,
It's like,
I don't know. I don't know how.
The dude from the Clippers,
Yeah, but
Donald Sterling.
They made him sell. They
Yeah,
made him sell, Sam. In this climate, they make
Man,
you sell. The
yeah.
dude from Carolina sold too. The dude from Carolina sold his team, Sam. He got caught up in some stuff. He sold his team. They will make you sell, Sam. They want Snyder out of here. They
No,
changed the
I
name.
know
They
they
did
do.
everything to get him out of here.
but they
Yeah,
haven't.
So
It's
they
very
will make
hard.
that man sell.
But I don't know how I feel about that either, though. Like, could we start talking
I
about
don't
like why? Like, I don't know how I
don't
feel
know.
about that either. But my point. Okay,
But
let's deal with the
keep
John
going on
Gruden.
going. Keep going on.
Let's. Are you done, Mike?
Yeah, I think I cover everything. He was misogynistic. He was homophobic. He was racist.
How was he homophobic? Oh my
I'm
god!
just letting you. I'm letting
Oh,
you
you letting know what they
okay,
saying.
He was accused of.
Let's do it. Let me hear. Let answer this, Sam. Say he was all those things. Accept it. Accept that he was all those things.
Yeah.
Privately, is it wrong to be privately homosexual? I mean, homosexual privately. No, it's not wrong anymore.
Homophobic?
Don't do that. Is it wrong to be privately homophobic, privately racist, and privately misogynistic? But when you come out in front, you're not, quote unquote. Like if there's no track record of you being that to a person, and you just did that in privately to text messages and stuff. I'm not saying that's the case because people might come out the woodwork now. We'll see. But is it okay to be privately racist? Can you be privately racist?
Whoa, let's deal with the homophobic thing first.
Privately homophobic.
There are millions, hundreds of millions of people in this country who denounce homosexuality. It's a fact. They do not subscribe to it. It's called they're part of some religion, maybe, and they do not subscribe to it openly. It's not nobody has an issue with. I mean, people may have an issue with it, but it's not a crime. They can have that stance. Happens all the time. So, absolutely, he can. I do not label John Gruden as a racist because of his comment with DeMaurice Smith. So I'm pushing back on that.
Yeah, it's not enough there.
That does not make him a racist because
I guess
I don't care. I don't care what it is.
But if your father was offended by that, but if your father
I don't care. My father was offended. My father's wrong. I have a right to say. I can say that. I can say that.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, but you wasn't
gotta
living
stop
during a
that.
time where that could have been offensive.
Yo,
no, you got to stop that.
What I'm saying is,
you can't just be like this.
but Rad, can I ask you this
Yeah,
question?
right. Preach living in a vacuum.
I'm not living in a
It's
vacuum.
like if you are though.
If you got big
because
if I say
it's a little here, a little there, a little there. Like when there's smoke, sometimes it is fire.
okay, so if John Gruden is a racist, then he's a racist. That's fine. But what I am saying is that there are multiple African American people who have rubbed shoulders with John Gruden who say the antithesis of that. That's all I'm saying. There are more people who say, matter of fact, nobody ever said that John Gruden was a racist. We're only talking about this one isolated statement where he called somebody who he was an adversary with. He said, "Yo, cuz got big lips." Like I just don't understand how. Like, so white people can't talk about black people. Let me ask you that? Can white people talk about black people? No. What I'm saying is, can white people talk about black people and not be called racist? Is that can we investigate that?
Openly, if it's found out, no. I mean,
no.
I mean, like,
I'm asking. What I'm saying is, if a white person says a black person is ugly, or they don't look,
why are they ugly? Keep going and getting the description of stuff.
I'm asking. I'm asking.
I know. Yes. No, it depends, Preach, because it's so many stereotypes and tropes out there for black people, right? That they say if somebody called Michelle Obama ugly, then that's not racist. If they say she looked like a monkey, to me that's like
that's crossing the line.
Right? But
she do look like a monkey.
No, she don't. You all
no, her facial features are.
This dude is crazy.
What I'm saying is, her facial.
Yo,
that's not an edit. No,
what is this dude talking
listen. her facial features
Edit.
can be
Yo,
defined
edit,
as monkey-like.
Edit.
You know
Yo,
what I'm saying?
That's 15 minutes.
Is that
That's
possible?
like 15 seconds.
Let me
Gone.
Let me ask you this.
Gone.
Can I ask this? Can someone's facial features be monkey-like? Yes or no?
So
Yes.
my
So
point
why
is,
do we do that? That's all I'm
Because-
asking. If these are facts, why do we have to skirt
Sam,
around
'cause
the facts, bro?
you're ignoring the obvious, and if you
Wait,
want to continue to ignore the
no.
obvious, keep doing
I'm
it.
not. I said
But
if
you
you are
doing that, Sam.
racist, you are
You are.
racist. But I'm saying if you do look like something,
So
you do
what-
look
so
like
what-
something. Two
what
things
do you
can be
have
true.
To do to be racist? Did you have to come out and say I am racist for you to be racist?
Well, here's the thing.
Or to at least say racist statements.
Sam,
If-
for you,
if-
don't
if
do
we-
for you.
For
No,
what?
If we don't want to say that Gruden is racist, can we at least say that he said a racist statement or a misogynist statement or homophobic statement? Can we at least say that or no? We can't. Even say
I
that.
agree with.
Sure.
I agree with. I agree with some of those things too, but
Sure.
this is my. I'm gonna give
We
my
can say
take.
that. We can
You
say
know,
that. I'm agreeing.
think-
we can say that.
I think I would have went, but we in a different society, right? But I would have went suspension because I do think this it is. I think it was private emails, and then if we go, especially if we go, if they take
He
private
wasn't working
anything
for
from me,
them.
listen to me. But listen, if anything private from me from 10 years ago, what
Yeah, I
I
don't
with
think it
my
matters.
friends, it's probably going to. I might have said something. I don't want to say
get
that.
fired if some video of me come up on GM of me doing something. Wow,
But
like,
but
violating somebody.
but
I
that
get
my
fired.
issue is I think we're taking it to that extreme. I mean, I guess this is just my opinion. This is not an extreme to me. I don't think
I
that
guess-
this is not even like I don't understand how someone has to get fired because he said that okay, he made his statement had racial undertones. I would even say that his statement had racial undertones. But
It's a
Demore
trope.
Smith,
It's a trope.
Demore Smith does have big lips. That is a fact. And John Gruden did not like him because the whole lockout situation. I'm not okay. That's a fact. That's also a fact too. The
But
situation.
I don't think Gruden clever enough to say that about his lips if he wasn't black.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay.
this
That's
is the
fine. It was
but the
racial.
issue is
Okay.
like,
but I don't think.
but
Should he be fired?
This is the only question I got. This is what I'm dealing with because it's like, is he not allowed to like say that to his mans, or he just not allowed to send that email to his mans? Like,
He's not.
really,
No.
should he
No.
just
He's
not
not.
said that?
He's not allowed to
No,
get
he
caught.
said-
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
don't get caught.
That's the
They
problem.
don't get caught.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
That's it.
That
Don't
is the
get caught.
problem. But that's
so
what
you
we
just
live in.
shouldn't do it because you can't control
Yeah,
it.
you
You get
shouldn't
caught
do
or
it.
not.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, no. You
can't control that.
No. You can
No,
control
you
it. They trust me, Rad. They control it all the time. The government doesn't let us know anything. Trust me, they control
Yeah,
it.
but a lot
'Cause
of stuff come out.
Rad, we
Why
just
do
had
we know
we just
everything?
had a whole conversation. Well, I mean, that's the leak. That's the name
Eventually,
of the game.
it comes out though.
But there are some things that never have came out. Trust me, you know and I know. We that's a
we
fact.
don't know.
No. There are some
We
things that
don't
you've
know.
done in your life that has never come out. That's a fact.
If Rat run for president is coming out.
Well, that may be true, but there are some things that I've done that hasn't come out, and for a whole bunch of other people, there are some things that people can't keep under wraps.
Somebody know everything. Somebody know.
Yeah, God,
yeah,
but not
yeah.
everybody. But what
No.
my thing
But
is this.
my thing is, I disagree with you that it's not a fireable offense, only because of
Why is it fireable,
who he
yes?
is.
What did he
like-
do though, Mike?
Well,
I don't
it's not.
understand.
And my thing is that I think you're getting caught up in a little bit of right from wrong. Like, and this to be the argument that Rad has about COVID, because you very like black and white. The league can do whatever they want. They got the power. If you're a league, they can move wherever they want. But now you want to like look into every small detail and everything. John Gruden is the face of is Oakland Raiders, of the football team that has stopped hate in racism. Doing the Juneteenth. They are trying to get far away from. They are women officials. They are trying to get as far away from racism, misogyny, homophobic. They should. The dude from the Raiders just came out and like there's big news. The DN. What's his name?
Crosby.
Nassib, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
No, it is Nassib. It's Nassib. Crosby is the other
Right.
defense end.
They
He's not
are
big, though.
trying to
I
distance
don't know
themselves
what he is.
so far away from all of that. And now you're gonna tell me you have a head coach that not only said something that can be taken as racist. We don't want to call it racist. That's fine. Can be taken as racist. Something that can be taken as misogynistic, and something that can be taken as homophobic. And you hit the three hot spots. Like
Yeah.
at that point, you have to do it. If you want to say they shouldn't
It's
have,
both.
it, yeah. Like this is where we at. The left they have the power, and if the mob mentality that
they really
want to
don't.
Get you power, a lot of jobs
but they
can't.
don't. We just had a president.
I mean,
who
I'm
was
not
saying
I'm
grabbing
not
girls
trying to
by
say
the pussy. What power do they have? See, that's it's a farce. But my only thing is
he just had to resign.
Who the president of the United States?
No, I'm talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the most powerful position in
Gruden
America.
America is America. Preaching.
But that's my point. These are all jokes. What we're talking about is a joke. It's a save face joke, and nobody really cares. I'm being honest. They really don't care. The people who's spending the money don't care because they're still spending the money.
I don't think the NFL personally care, but people around the people who's push. The people in the NFL that make up the NFL
sponsorships. Now that's the problem.
No, all that matters. Money is
that's the issue. That's the money.
Washington lost all of their sponsors because they wouldn't change the name. I'm sorry
because we all know
actually don't care.
We all know NFL did it for a money thing, right? They, I think most, but it was people inside the NFL that probably are gay, probably is women, and they probably is like, yo, we got to get this dude out of here because it's like it resembles old guard, it resembles old boy network. It's that whole vibe you get, right? It's that whole vibe. Now, should he have lost his job? I don't know. He probably still getting paid, so it's like
he's
not.
Don't
feel
he has to forfeit $60 million. They said it. They came
because
out.
Because it's dead.
Whatever is in his contract or whatever.
Maybe?
Yeah, I don't know, but he has to forfeit $60 million. He will not get paid.
I don't agree with that. So I see that's where it gets so I don't agree with that. If he was forced to resign and then he had a severance pay, I would agree with that. But he don't get the rest of the money. I don't agree with that. Now I don't agree with nothing he didn't be getting 10 years ago. It said it was up to 2018 too.
Yeah.
I don't agree with those
They
things.
said it was up to 3 years ago. They did say that.
But it was I mean, I don't know. It's private emails that got leaked because of somebody else, and it was like I'm talking to my friends about stuff. But I would say now I gotta lose $60 million. The
thing is,
it's tough. That's a tough issue. I haven't really thought through that.
And that was my issue with him because all of that was on the table. And when he had his post game interview on Sunday, all of that was on the table. He came up there and act like he did not give a fuck
because he did.
So at that point,
he didn't do anything.
But I know.
That's the problem.
But I get what both of y'all are saying.
And I don't think.
I hear what y'all saying. But the issue is that the NFL probably told him to get up there and apologize.
And he said
he got there was like nah, I don't care. I don't know. 10 years ago, blah blah blah. You didn't have any sympathy for what you said, you have to go.
But I don't know what. But if he feels that he didn't do anything wrong, why would I have sympathy for? Even with the whole thing with the
call lying,
huh? I mean, okay, but I mean, hey, some people listen, but then that's another integral issue. Maybe he thought he shouldn't lie, and that's fine. I'm glad he stuck to his bones.
But I mean, you got.
I can respect that.
The game, you got to play the game.
Well, that's why he's not there. That's why he resigned. That's why he's not there. And maybe he's okay with that position.
Maybe he didn't want to play the game. Maybe he didn't want to play and he resigned. Maybe that's what it was.
And John Gruden will be fine. So I don't even know why. Like this is like.
Y'all don't think his legacy take a hit?
I mean, what is John Gruden's legacy? I always thought he was overrated anyway.
I don't know how great of the legacy was. I mean, Monday Night Football, he was a legend.
Come on, why two banana? The Gruden's camp. I mean, he didn't win with the Bucks.
I don't think he's gonna take a hit because for me personally, I guess
I don't think about Gruden.
I don't think me either, but I don't see these are they're not flagrant to me. And this is my only issue too. Can I say something about the women's? Let me say two things. About Michelle Obama, I was not calling Michelle Obama ugly. I think she's very pretty.
I'm editing that. It don't matter.
But it already went up. Now I'm putting this out. But
we lied.
We lied. But I just wanted to say I think that she does have defined features, and I think that monkeys do have defined features. I'm not calling her a monkey, but I can make those two comparisons with I don't see what's the issue in that.
Yeah, but you're not white, so.
Yeah, and that's my point. So that's how I was trying to make the point. But let me say this
matters in America. You ignoring that effect.
No, I'm not ignoring that. I said we can talk about racial undertones. I said we can define that. I just don't think I don't think it's flagrant. That's my point. Also with women as referees, I just find it very flagrant that we can have fraternities and sororities, but we can't have an all male NFL. That's my only issue about it though. Why can't it just be a fraternity of people? I'm asking,
but people,
men,
but people, they say the same thing about like golf courses, and some women want to get in, and it's like.
But I'm saying, but I cannot. But why is there not the same outrage of me getting in sorority? Why is that different?
I mean, I don't think that.
I'm asking.
It's not a job.
It's not a job. It's because it is the fraternity out here. Like,
but we know that fraternities and sororities yield power. We can't agree on that.
But there's no female football league. It was no national football league for females where females can be just exclusive. You know, and in female areas of sports, males dominate that. Not dominate, but males is intertwined in that as far as referees and coaches as well. So we don't, you know what I mean? So one of those things, if men in women's sports, women can be in men's sports, right?
No.
Yeah, men. You got men, women, coach women.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, my point is that, like, I'm just saying, why is it not the same outrage with the sorority? Like, what is the difference in that? Like, I don't.
Well, because it's male to female to male. Like, right? It's women or girls in Boy Scouts, but I don't think it is the other way. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. I've never been in Boy Scouts.
I don't know. Me either. But I believe it's like some girl wanted to be a Boy Scout, so they changed the rules for her. But if a boy wanted to be, they might have changed the rules for him. But going the other way, I don't think it's as much outrage because we're men. That's it.
So ain't no Joanna mans. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think not in Girl Scouts.
But that's not true. I mean, now it's more prevalent. Like there are males who identify as women who are doing women's sports and they kill it. And they wild.
Yeah,
they giving it up.
We kill it. They breaking records.
And that's what I'm saying. But I don't necessarily. I may not necessarily agree with that either, though.
But my thing is because what is going on? Like in a fraternity, is men doing men stuff.
I don't know what that means.
Sorority.
I think it's really
but when you say that,
it's not
in football. Men do men things. That's a fact.
But the refs.
We can't agree with that.
The refs.
We talk about referees. We're not talking about women playing football.
It's all a fraternity. They all in there.
No, it's not.
How?
No, I'm a ref. Yeah. I can assure you.
But not at the highest level, Mike. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but we can't agree that at the highest level there is a difference. Just like with any other job. Like that doesn't make sense. That's like that city government is different from the from like federal government. It's just a fact. At the highest level, there are things that people do differently.
It's different.
We just talked about Jeff Bezos.
But even at the smallest level of government, is men and women.
Well, now it is.
I can assure you. Yeah, I know. But I can assure you.
And actually, that's not even so much true. We don't have any women. We never had a woman mayor in Buffalo. We never. We're not going to. She can't pay her tickets. Yeah, we can segue. We can get off this. Yeah, we can get off this.
So, well, shout out to Gruden. Gruden, he'd be fine. So he'd be all right.
Mike, you got the Byron Brown video queued up?
Oh, him thinking at church? I ain't playing.
Yeah, I know that's old though.
What's the? Hey, I don't know.
It's not like it wasn't like it's not. It's current, meaning that it's in the last 3 or 4 months, but it's not like yesterday.
What's the better rollout? India Walton not paying her tickets or Byron Brown singing gospel at True?
100% India Walton, especially her explanation was incredible.
Yo, you know what's funny though? Mike was on to something, man. Mike really he hit at something when he first said something about it. Like when I think Auntie sent it to the group chat, and Mike says she's just like every other Buffalonian. But I think that her explanation they was like, okay, even though they didn't plan her not having her inspection sticker and her not having tickets, that was just stupid on her part.
I think they did.
They did not. No, nobody plans that. Brad, you don't want
the Democratic nominee,
Brad,
the mayor,
Brad. You
okay?
You don't want to have an inspired inspection ticket. Like nobody wants that. Like that's just not something that you want.
That sounds like rollout to me.
That's not a rollout.
Like,
that's it's not a rollout. I think that Byron Brown, they knew they had this information, and they was just waiting at the right time to release it. I'm sure they probably never thought that they would ever release it, but I think that she's spinning it. She's spinning it.
No, let's understand. You know, if you got $600 in unpaid parking,
she knew that.
Who doesn't know that?
Yes, I'm not saying
she's running for mayor, knowing that. Come on, bro. Put those two things in one mind. But come on, bro. You running for mayor and you got $600.
Come on,
come on, bro.
But Rad. People smoke weed.
That don't seem like
people smoke weed and take drug tests and think that this is not gonna come up. Like people do that shit.
I'm talking about a mayor. You
can't. But I'm talking about livelihood. Right? People do that. They literally go to a drug test knowing that they smoke weed, and it's like, yo, you can't do that. Like that's the whole point of the drug test. Like I don't know what she was thinking. No, it's not different because it caused an incompetence.
That's the rec impact.
No, yes, it caused incompetence in the play.
She owed money.
I agree. She did know.
Or was she waiting? She might have waited to become mayor to get it off.
Shout out to
It's turning around.
Yo, it's not turning around for you, Mayor. It's not turning around
For me.
It's not turning around for me.
Shout out to Byron.
Politicians do that.
It's
but-
turning around.
Absolutely, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You should be the best at it if you're a politician.
Absolutely, and let me say this about the elections, about India. She's trying to spin it like, yes, I do think that like, and I don't want to be insensitive when I say this, but the everyday Buffalonian, the people who do have tickets, and people who do like people who get the thing, like, so it's like you can't tap into that base and get those votes, right? It's not like impossible. Like when like, okay, she's like me. But sometimes that backfires, with aspirations.
It's hit or miss. It's hit or
It
miss.
is because I don't like in my mind, like I don't. It's just a dub, bro. Like this is beyond reproach for me. Like you can't.
That could be a turn off for some people. It could be like
me.
Bro,
You can't.
Like,
For me,
for
cannot
sure.
be a mayor and like you can have issues in your life, but not this issue.
I want my politicians. This is bad by me. I need to change the way I feel.
I don't think so.
I want my politicians, like my pastors, right? I hold them up to a higher standard than I hold myself. Like if you doing what I'm doing, it's like, yo, really?
No, you're
So
right.
about the politician, you got parking tickets, like you got to expire inspection. Like what you want in the office?
What month was
when
it?
you get the budget, when you get the city
you know what I
budget,
mean?
But I mean I guess it's too far of a stretch, but it is.
It's not too far of a stretch,
like,
right?
that's
It's not.
It's like credit. It's like
We
yo,
don't
you got
know
bad
her.
It's like credit. You got bad credit too. It's like you trying to run a city. You got bad credit.
We don't-
It's like,
We don't have.
it's like
We
you
don't.
know what I mean?
We
It's
don't.
like,
We don't know India Walton. Like all we know
We
is.
don't.
I mean, she just
Yeah,
came
she
out, so it's
showed
like
up. Yeah, she showed
once you tell me that she's not paying parking tickets or she has an expired inspection ticket for however long, it's like, what else is wrong with you then? I mean, and not to
Yeah.
mention all the other things that done slipped out and everybody else. You know what I mean? And I keep that to
I
myself,
don't
but
know. I'm not hip with it.
I
I live in
am.
Amherst now,
I am.
unfortunately.
It was you.
Now you was here when she was around in the city.
Talk about the photos.
Yeah,
Preach.
you was here when she was around in the city.
wildin'.
But
The mayor.
Oh,
gave it
yeah,
up.
wow.
OF.
Shout out to the mayor elect.
since we're talking to politicians, she's not the mayor elect, right? She won
Yeah,
a
she-
nomination.
Oh, the Democratic,
Yes.
Democratic elect,
Yeah,
Democratic
like,
candidate.
she's
elect,
not the
whatever.
mayor.
It's Buffalo.
Democratic
It's
candidate.
Buffalo.
I know,
It's
but
Buffalo.
that's the other
Whatever.
thing. Like
Ain't no
we're
problem.
ignorant even in that. You know what I mean? A lot of people are like
Yeah.
she's not the mayor, y'all. But listen, another
I know
thing.
she's not the mayor. Yeah.
Tim Kennedy. Since we on politics, like,
Oh
do
God.
y'all know Tim Kennedy? He's a
Yeah.
senator. I mean, and I like him because he's a politician's politician. He make the rounds. He says what he needs to say, and I like that about my politician. You can lie to me. I understand you're lying. It's fine.
Yeah, let's put the effort in.
But what he's trying to do is, I think they're trying to pass a bill where they're saying it's okay to have sex education in pre-K. And I just,
My school, my kid won't go there.
but no, I'm just saying. Well, I mean, I'm assuming this has to be in just public schools. I don't know if they have. I guess private institutions. I don't know if they have the right to touch curriculums and stuff like that. I'm not sure of that. But what I am asking is, how do y'all feel about that?
I think some things. I think it's some things that going overboard. I think some things should be left into the household. I think some things should be left to your parents, and because how you bring up things.
All right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah,
I don't feel like in
Rad,
pre-K. That's too early.
Take
No,
your good parent self out of it and think about the average parent or below average parents. And now, what's our answer now?
Same thing.
Okay, so
Sex education
So the
and
kids
pre-K?
gonna learn it at home. The kids are gonna learn it at home.
But I'm assuming
Sex education and pre-K. But what did that?
what that consists of.
too
That is a
broad
great
for me.
question. But I'm
It's
sure
too broad for me.
it consists of
broad
like
for me.
broad.
genders, non-binary, like
It's too
all
broad
those
for me.
things.
I don't control. I don't trust. I
All
don't
those
trust them
things
to do
will
that.
be embedded and seeped into their minds. Like you don't have to. No, I'm serious. You don't have to identify
I do.
as.
But I do get what
all
Mike's
that.
saying, though. I do get what Mike's saying. Some people like, come on. If we're gonna be real, let's be real. In the black community, those sex and children and predatory activities is prevalent.
That's
We
all
know how-
communities. That's not fair.
I don't know.
No, it's not a no.
I know.
It's a
I
fact. You
know
can look
it
at
for sure
statistics.
in
That's
mine.
all communities. You
Okay,
can,
I know for sure in mine.
but
I
that's
know how it get down.
no. I'm talking about statistics.
I'ma
That's
talk on that.
It's in all communities.
Okay.
It's a fact.
Okay, that's fine. but I don't know. But based on how, based on my like how it's swept over the rug and stuff like that. So maybe that might educate somebody. It might reach somebody and help them maybe talk to somebody. Maybe in that period, maybe in first grade, they can somebody say, hey, yeah, well, my uncle or my cousin did that. You know what I mean? Now I was like, whoa, now it's red flags. Now things is, we can maybe some like stuff like that can be stopped early.
I never thought about it that way.
I can see, that literally just came up. I can see that potentially happening. Like cause what Mike said, lesser parents, people, not lesser parents. I'm gonna say that. Lesser situations where, like, the people, the grown-ups around you ain't the best, ain't there, ain't paying attention to you. Even good parents, stuff slip through. So even good parents, stuff slip through. So I agree. Now I would do this. I would say I would send things home. I would send pamphlets home. I would have additional classes if you want to bring your child to things like that. Making it mandated across is always, because I don't want you teaching my son that early.
Yeah,
I want to, you know what I mean?
early.
That's me. You know what I mean? And I feel like that choice should be there. And I feel like once you don't take that choice from me and saying it's the teacher's job, and then depending where you live, the white teacher teaching the white older 50-year-old mom, 50-year-old woman with my 7-year-old black boy, like it's some things like that matter. That matters to me. So
yeah,
I'm not with all that. So
schools can't even teach math anymore, let alone some sex education.
And then that is so based on the teacher. Like, bro, a lot of that stuff is based on the teacher feelings. Like, I'm not with that.
If the teacher had some bad experience with men, bro, and their bias come in, or with women, it's like
and that's with everybody. But I'd rather have that. That's with everybody. I mean, obviously, but I'd rather take that control. I feel like I can take that. I feel like I can do that. But some people can't. Some people are.
What is the right
unable? A sex education? When did we start?
Health class?
I think once your kid
sophomore year, we took health.
I think once your kid it just comes in, if it comes up in conversation or if something happened, I think that's when you should start educating them on it. Immediate. I think once it comes into the world of in play, if they see, somebody get kissed on TV, or I think it comes into play. I think that's when you start educating them as a parent. Now, at school, I don't know the answer for school because I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. But as a parent, I guess I'm coming too much from a parent perspective. But as a parent perspective,
but it's the point of it.
I think immediate. But I'm saying
parents
immediately. As soon as they can't comprehend that type of things, I think earlier is better. I think from a parent perspective,
it's the issue is this. We're living in a different time now, and we do have to acknowledge that. I know people say that as like a trope, like we're living, but we really are. So it's like the things that children are exposed to, it was different. You could, in some ways, I don't want to use the word shelter, but you could censor back then. You could. There are ways to censor because there just wasn't a lot of outlets to get information like it is. Like with the advent of a phone or an iPad or anything, it's like, it's over. And even certain things, even though they had certain questionable things they showed on TV back then, but even still, like the way that they did it, like America 50, 60, 70 years ago was even more of a quote unquote Christian nation where they just like you like on Sundays you couldn't drink. Things. Like, I mean, certain things it was a non-starter.
Even on TV, they didn't even like sleep in the same bed.
Oh no, not at all. Like stuff like that. I mean, now it's like, like
now give it up.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't watch a show without something homosexual. And I'm not saying, I'm just like the representation for all. I'm just saying the representation for all sexual activities are prevalent.
Monday Night Football yesterday, they made a big point. It was like a big thing of having, two men. I was like, okay, that's fine.
I got a Hulu ad, and it was just like two men kissing for like a minute. And I'm like, let me skip this ad. I was like, I don't know if it was a TV show or what it was, but I was a little taken aback. But
it's definitely different. It's everything is just different. It's a new age, and as a parent, as a person, I think we're in the best position, right? Because we know pre-internet somewhat. We know pre-phone. We know pre-social media. We know we got a handle of that, and we got this right, and our kids all gonna have this. all gonna have all internet, all that's so I think we're in a good position to balance that because it's gonna be tough as parents. It's gonna be tough trying to, TikTok is crazy. TikTok is nuts. My mom was just saying how on TikTok it was a thing going around where they destroying bathrooms. So she had to have a meeting with all the 7th and 8th graders because TikTok is they just destroying bathrooms because it's going crazy on TikTok.
But we did too, though.
Like,
we threw toilet paper in the bathroom. That's not a new thing. I will say that. We used to fight about it.
I know. I'm not saying
that's
like
not
a
new.
Lower point. That's a lower point. But I'm saying the fact that can connect throughout the whole country.
Yeah, it's different.
That's true.
And me at the same time.
I agree with that.
Now everybody,
everybody doing it.
That is the
difference
difference.
right now.
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
That is the
It's
difference. There's nothing new under the sun. Meaning, like I think that like all children, like everybody has gone through the same thing in a sense. And what I mean by same thing, is like when we talk about like temptation has always been in existence, but temptation through a phone is a different method, right? Mm-hmm. And it gets like that's the nuance. But like the bigger things, it's like pride. You can name all those things like that. That's just all that is pride. It's just pride on TikTok now. You know what I mean? So it's like that. That's the difference. Like, that's the nuance of it. But yeah, it's crazy.
I know. We've been pretty serious, so I do want to.
I know we've been too serious. We've been too serious.
Speaking of the talk, so I remember when my dad tried to have it with me. The funniest shit of all time. I can tell that my mom forced him to try to come here and talk to me. And my dad, he don't even talk. He's like, your mom thought it was a good idea for us to sit down and talk. I'm like, what's up, pops? He's like, man, when two people love each other and the birds and the bees. I said, no, hold on.
The birds and the bees.
How old was you?
I was like, I was like probably like 13. Like, pops, I'm like, I'm good. Just tell her we had it. We can walk away. We good. He was so relieved by that. Probably he never brought that up again. My mom never said nothing. My mom probably thought we had some in-depth talk. I can assure you, mom, if you're listening, we did not. I learned everything on my own. So, your pops ain't come talk to y'all about or try to come talk to y'all about nothing.
No, I don't think so. I think my mom. I don't know what Sam, but growing up in church a lot, it was just always like talked about it in that facet. In church, taboo. Like, you know what I mean? So it was never necessarily a discussion of sex because it's like she's not about to have it. I don't think my mom about to have that conversation. It's more so like, you bet not be, or you know what I mean? It was more of that talk than, I know you're doing, being accepting of, I know you about to start doing that, but it wasn't that. It was like more, you better not, or you better not bring this girl to my house, you know what I mean? That type of stuff. It was more of those type of tones, I guess. Maybe, but if she was listening, she'd probably be like, we did that talk. I don't remember. If we did, I don't remember.
My mother she's very like, I had all those. To the 10th power. My father was different. He welcomed the opposite sex, in my life. So that's just how he was. It was just like it was almost a rite of passage, like something that you just have to do.
I think that's good. That's good.
But it was it was like it was open. I could be, I want to use the word open with him, but like I didn't have to necessarily hide it from him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, you don't have to hide this. This is nothing to hide. I want you to that's good. That's so it's like important. we can handle this too. If you are dealing with the female, this can be handled. We can still parent you while you're dealing with the female. It's not like impossible. So I think like
that's important.
That's like if you gotta hide stuff, you don't want to hiding stuff is a problem.
Yeah, you don't. But as a kid, you don't necessarily know, right? Because if you don't have that conversation, like saying that's dope for your kid. Because if you don't have that, you think you gotta hide. Because like
you gotta hide it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you're not even supposed to have a girlfriend, really, right?
Yeah,
coming from
he was with it.
I'm talking about in certain ages, you're not necessarily supposed to be like, what you have a girlfriend? You don't supposed to have no girlfriend. I'm that type of talk.
Nah.
Instead of how to handle women.
My mother was like that.
No, when do you tell?
My father wasn't.
A young man how to handle women. You know what I mean? That conversation is like not to handle women, but
I think
the up and down.
Some women need to be handled. You're right. You're right.
True.
You dealing with other 14-year-olds. So I don't know. So I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying that conversation is real though. that conversation needs to be had and more. I mean, we need more black men in black men lives, but that conversation needs to be had. I think that how to, because you don't know. You think you kind of you be strong along them little games women play. You just don't know. You be
but I think,
them.
Like, but the issue is, and the one thing I've learned, even growing up, we've all learned this. Certain things you can only learn through experience. That there are just certain things you can only learn, and I think with women,
you learn to dance.
A lot of those,
dance. My dad always said
like a lot of those things that you've learned, you just innately pick it up because it's difficult because it's like those games. Like you just gotta go through that, bro. You gotta you do. Like I can tell you heartbreak. I can tell you. But until you actually experience it, it doesn't matter. I mean, because like you won't really know what that means or what it feels like to understand how to deal with the next person and like trial and error. I mean, there are some things that listen, son, you could be aware of this, be aware of this, be aware of this. This is a red flag. This is a red flag. But at the end of the day, Dad, I'm going to trip, and I actually want to trip. I'm fine with it. I'll be all right.
Yeah,
but the thing is, parents know you will be all right for the most part. You will. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right.
No, but knowing that, I'm not saying to tell your kid don't go through danger. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like talking like, yo, it's danger there. Not danger, but it's some trials, but everything is fine. It's like you don't know though. As a kid, but sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, and having a little information helps.
True.
Anything.
But most of the time you're not receptive of that because it's like you like why are like I guess I can speak.
Depends. It depends how they receive. It depends
not experience. Most kids
or how it's taken. How it's taught.
We that's just with anything with money. I mean, it's with a lot of things. It's like we're just not receptive. We just gotta fall. You know what I'm saying? You gotta crawl before you walk. It's just the way of the world. Like sometimes certain things is the way of the world.
Some people fall and don't know how to get back up. Sam, you
that's
assuming
true,
people know how to get back.
But
you assuming they got the faculties. You assuming that depression ain't real. Some things you do
want
agree. Some type of
it.
Like, yo, it's fine. Yeah. And some people don't get that. And some people get lost in their trials. Some people get lost in their downs because they don't realize a down is just.
But that's the world too, though.
You know what I mean?
That is the world.
That's the world, but that's why you need guidance.
Yeah, that's why you need a parent there to teach you a little bit. I'm with y'all.
We got serious again. That was the serious again. Mike.
Yeah, I know, right? I was talking about my dad talking. We turned into.
I mean, name this the serious part. Name this the serious part.
I was gonna go left, like when my dad
this is serious
lied
part.
to my mother, for me.
Okay.
Let me skip school to go with the shorty. Shout out to Pops for that. Took me there,
that's
picked me up from her house and all that. I was in high school at the time.
Yeah, Pops was giving it up.
He was wilding. Yeah, he was wilding. Shout out.
That's not necessarily wilding.
No, he was wilding
though. But your relationship with your father is probably uniquely different.
No, he was wilding.
Any other relationship in your life, though.
No. I'm not saying I agree with that, but I'm just saying he was still wilding though. Like what he did.
You think so?
It was insane. It was legitimately.
Do you
insane.
think why you think he did it? If you could be in his mind, why do you think he'd do that?
Probably because he was with it. Like I don't know, like.
But why? I mean, like
because he knew that he skipped school. So
it was a rite of passage. It wasn't. Safely. Yeah, this is not a problem. Yeah. Like it's like you with that little slizzy. Is that where you like? Is this what you doing? If you with the slizzy, then you with the slizzy. I don't mind.
So what are y'all takes on this type of parenting? Like, all these things gonna happen.
I'm not doing that.
Say like, people have parties. Things happen. You only can do that if you hear. Like, you be the parent that allow all your people to come to the house and make sure because you're safe, or you kind of want to be like what's the like how do you do? Because young men, what they do is like no, if you going out with your friends, you're not going with your friends to your friend's house. You going to your friend, you come in here, y'all go do something in the backyard. And y'all go be weird in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? So how do y'all feel about that? Because y'all know things. We know how we what we did.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's what we did.
And I don't want to deny my kids of that, because like we try to give them everything that we didn't have and forget to give them what we did have. Mm-hmm. And like being in the streets with y'all, Tony and them, Bags and them, like right that gave me some of my own character. I was out there for myself, had to fend for myself. So that like those are lessons I take with me today. Like go ahead, go experiment, right? I don't think I'll be living in the hood. No, knock on wood. So hopefully it's
not. No, say it. You're not living in the hood. You're not living in the hood now.
But yeah, I know. But it should happen. But so that when he does go out, it's a little bit more safe. But you gotta go out there, you gotta experience it on your own.
Absolutely, and probably. Well, I mean, not probably. Our children, they will not have the same experiences as we had.
Yeah.
Or they're not having them even now. The thing is, I think you just got to teach them right from wrong from the jump. This is right and this is wrong. Like, so, like, you can always have a sense of morality and basis. Like, that this
More
is
serious.
right. I'm just saying, like, that this is right.
I just
and
realized it in the moment.
and
like,
this
oh,
is
more
wrong.
serious.
Like, so it's like, okay, even in this
What
situation
bills
with your
that? What
friends,
bills that lighten
you
it up?
know, you do not buck authority unless you tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like that, as a child, you don't even have in your mind what bucking authority is because you were a child and you were under my supervision. That's what I tell my like. Listen, I think I would be that parent. I'm not saying that I don't want you to be an activist or anything like that, but you need, when you want to activate, call me first, and then we'll
Yeah,
decide.
yeah.
We'll
Come
decide
home,
how that
come
works.
home and let's plan.
We could decide
Come
that
home and let's plan.
because you're still under my roof. You're not self-sufficient. You're not independent. None of that is true. You don't have privacy. Like, no, you don't. There's no such thing as privacy as a child. I don't even understand how that's possible. How could you have how? I'm just asking that question. I was watching something like how does children have privacy? Privacy from what? Nigga, what
Do
you
we
got?
not? I guess I don't know what age, but should we not set boundaries? Is
Yes.
boundaries not important even
You
for
can
kids?
you can set boundaries, but you have no privacy. There's a difference. I am actually setting a boundary, which means I can always cross that boundary if I feel as though I need to do that because I'm the parent. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't like this, because the thing is, and nowhere else in the world is we don't even have privacy. Adults, they be listening to our conversations, giving us Facebook ads. Like, that's not privacy. Why the hell would I give you privacy and you a child? Man, get out of my face.
I agree. I mean, this is more serious. Here we go. But I agree with that because I think you want your child to have this idea of before, because you grow up, and then obviously I would hope something takes this role. I mean, if Christian, me, God, us, God, but something is always watching. You got this thing that's like, no matter where you at, your actions matter. You know what I'm saying? So that privacy thing is, I agree with that. I do, because it's like you want to play that role in your child's life. So when they grow up, they had that role, and hopefully transfers to God or somebody else or something else, whatever. But to have that, that moral, somebody's watching you. You know what I mean? Something is watching you.
Okay.
We didn't even get the sports. It's not a sports show.
It's
Well,
hour.
it's not-
We are hour 40 right now.
It's
Hour
not a
40?
sports show.
I mean, if we do sports in NFL or like Kyrie, it's gonna be like a 2 hour. And I really
So
gotta use the bathroom.
Well, go ahead. Oh no, you got to end it, right?
I mean, y'all could go. I mean, like, y'all probably be done by the time I get back.
How can we end it on YouTube?
What do you mean?
Like, if I hit stop share on here, would it stop on YouTube and Facebook and everything?
No. That has nothing to do with that though.
I'm saying, but if you
I
leave,
can-
Jimmy Ratcher talking.
Yeah, like absolutely. If I stop it on like YouTube and Facebook, then y'all can. I mean, Zoom is still going.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I want to. I'll get Rad thoughts on a couple of these games real quick. Real quick. So Russell Wilson, broken finger. What's your thoughts? Is Seattle done?
Seattle's done, and is the bad thing about it is that I think Jets got their first round pick, so
Okay.
it's really bad.
All right, Bills Chiefs. Was that game more about the Bills or more about the Chiefs?
The Bills, in my opinion, but
I think the Bills, but it's a close second. Chiefs. I think they need to figure it out.
Yeah, a lot of people was talking about the Chiefs. Bengals Packers, and I want to lump this game in with another one. What other game was it? I can't remember what other game it was. But like, why were they all dependent on their kicker? Like, they were not even trying to win the game with actual football players. They just say, yo, we're gonna let the kickers kick it out. And like, they got down there past the 50 and just did 3 runs and now try to kick 40-yard field goals. So teams not try to go. If you got Aaron Rodgers, why not go score a touchdown? Is my question.
pass
Yeah,
practice.
overtime. towards the end of the game, I understand because the time limit. But in overtime, where it's like the time not an issue, I think you definitely should just go score. I mean, why not? I mean, I understand.
Overtime time is
playing
the
not to
issue.
lose.
What do you mean?
Overtime. I mean, like when it's like 20 seconds left, and you got to kick the field goal. But the Cincinnati Green Bay game, it was more so. They was kind of
7 minutes left, and they was just going for a field goal.
No,
like,
they was. They was. I mean,
just to try to score.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like it's.
And they kicked it on third down too. He missed it. I think
guess
he missed on third down.
Field goals is a part of football, though.
down
Yeah,
yet.
third down. Like, you
It was
gotta
third down.
Try to
In
get
overtime.
4 yards to make it
So they
quicker.
just
That's
kick
true.
Better
No,
kick.
you're right, and I that was wrong. I don't like when they do that, but like field goals is it's been a part
It's
of
the game.
Yeah, like it's legit
Yeah.
a part of the game. Like it's not some other part of the game. It is actually the game. Like the game is field
People
goals.
make fun of kickers all the time,
And that's
how they're
fine.
Real football
That,
players.
they can do that,
Like,
Mike. But
yeah,
people
they
make
do
fun
like
of
Aaron
people make fun of
Rodgers.
like analytics all the time because like, oh, it's X's and O's. Oh, but it's Jim
Yeah.
and Joe's. But like the reality is, I mean, people do that
I
all the
never heard
time.
Jim and Joe thing.
And people say
I
that,
never heard the Jim and Joe thing.
or whatever they made, whatever names they use.
That
but
makes sense though. I get what you're saying, but
My,
Yeah,
my-
I hear you.
my point is, this is the game. Like field goals has always been a part of the game. So why are we looking at it like it's
Baltimore
not?
went down there. I'm not acting like it's not.
No,
but
they
Baltimore
did
went down there and
score.
scored a touchdown.
But kicking a field goal is not. That does not mean it's not a part of the game, though. We can't
I'm
agree
not
on
saying
that.
kicking a field goal. If
Just
it's
go
fourth down.
Just make the third down.
But if you get past the 50 and you run 3 times and you go kick a field goal, to me that's you settling for a field goal.
You
That's
are
not
settling.
having to kick one.
But
Yeah,
no, you're
hey,
right.
I think a lot of people just settle.
Okay,
I
that's
don't know
the
why.
right word of using. They settle.
So same thing. So I want to talk about the Lions Vikings because they went for 2 and they got it, which I thought was a smart move. They tried to go win, but he said that it was the wrong move and he felt bad because the Vikings went down there and scored. But is it the wrong decision because he didn't get the right outcome, or was it still the right decision?
I mean, like the issue is if they don't get the 2-point conversion, then we're saying it's the wrong decision. But to his point, his explanation doesn't make sense because even if they kicked the field goal, they still could have went down and scored. So I don't know how that changes.
they won a regulation or something.
Yeah. The Vikings. It was like 30
Yeah.
seconds left. They went for 2. They won. They should have won the game. The game should have been over at that point.
He said
It was 30 seconds left. But even if
Yeah,
you
just
kicked the
took it
field
to
goal,
overtime.
it still would have been 30 seconds left.
But as they probably just
They might have just
you know
knelt
what I mean?
down, but they might have. But that goes to the other point, though. That lends itself to the other point. And it's
No,
not.
I think he's wrong. I think he's
He's wrong
all
as
the way.
hell.
That's
Yeah,
that's
he's
that's
wrong.
wrong thinking.
It doesn't make sense.
I think
Yeah.
I think that's just wrong thinking. Did he really say that? Dan Campbell really said
Yeah,
that?
he was crying.
wow.
You
He was
see his
crying,
interview,
yeah, he was
bro.
wilding.
in tears, bro.
Oh
He
wow!
was in
Why would
tears.
he-
Like
I don't
yeah,
understand why
they
he was
work. They
crying.
work so hard. And
Wow,
I just feel so bad. Like,
That's
yo,
crazy.
He made the.
I think that's what he did was I think that's galvanizing your team. Like they
Yeah.
like, yo, my coach,
Let's
we
win
got
now.
in the gutter. My
You
coach is
trust
going
us.
for this because they believe in us. What you mean? We lost. I mean, hey, we played great. They're a better team.
But I wanted to. I do
We the
believe
Detroit
Mike.
Lions.
It is. What was when you said? Is it the wrong call because of the wrong outcome?
because it didn't work out. Yeah.
I do believe that going for it, for like in that situation, that within itself in the vacuum is that it like if I don't get it, it was the wrong call. If I do get it, it is the you know what I'm saying. Like I do think like
Yeah.
we can play that game with that.
Well, we know going forward how he gonna coach though. Moving forward, unfortunately.
yeah,
like a whole.
yeah. He's gonna be punting like crazy.
Well, they not gonna be in that position anymore because they suck.
Yeah. Chargers, Browns. Is Justin Herbert the future?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is he better than Josh? I think we talked about this last week.
I don't think he better than Josh.
He's not better than Josh.
Okay.
I don't think he's better than Josh, but
All
he's
right.
definitely better. He definitely.
He's a top 8
up there
quarterback.
with He top 4 in the AFC. I
Man,
think
it
actually
sounds
him
like-
and Lamar.
Okay.
Lamar. Who you like better? People like might go probably like take him over Lamar now.
He's top 8.
But besides,
Nah, not ever. What
besides
Lamar just
Mahomes
did.
and Allen is Herbert. He better than Baker.
He's definitely better than
Derek Carr. He better than all everybody young.
Herbert crazy.
He's like a
crazy.
top 8
He going
quarterback
crazy.
in football, probably. He's better I think Justin Herbert's better than Matthew Stafford, in my opinion.
I won't go that far right now.
I don't
won't
see
say
how
that.
he's not. Matthew Stafford hasn't done anything in his career.
Neither has.
That's my point. So I would take Justin Herbert over him.
Like, well, you take him because
Oh.
he's younger, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying in
I-
general. I mean, prime. I would take Justin Herbert right now
you
over
saying
Matt
for
Stafford
sure you
prime.
feel like he gonna have a better career than Matt Stafford.
Absolutely
That's what
will. I mean, barring injury.
Yeah, he's looking crazy right now. And lastly, Ravens, Colts, Lamar
That was
went
crazy.
over 400. I think he ran
MVP
for
right
whatever.
now.
He had like 500 yards total, 4 touchdowns. I can't believe they came back and won.
It was a bad
The Colts
fantasy
are
beat for
terrible.
me.
Yo,
I wasn't even paying attention. I honestly was not paying attention at all. I was out. I was at the range. I wasn't even looking at it. And then all of a sudden, like I went to Santoris and I'm like, my cousin just like, yo, it's crazy. I'm like, what's crazy? He's like, yo, they coming back. I never looked at the fantasy. I may have looked at it one time, but I was still up. I wasn't even thinking about Mark Andrews. It was the furthest thing from my mind. Because the crazy thing is, in another league, I'm playing against Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown. And I'm like, yo, I got this joint. I was up by mad points. I'm like, I'm like, yo, this is legitimately insane. Like, I was like down. I was like, yo,
for me, I wasn't looking at the app. I was like just watching the game. So when he scored the touchdown, I was like, I didn't know if I had enough. I was like, I should have. I was like, because I needed like 30-something points, but I didn't know how many he had. I did not track how many points Mark Andrews had the whole time. So I was like, I didn't know how many. I wasn't really. I was watching the game,
like
but I wasn't.
Yeah, he was
when
wild.
he scored a touchdown, I was like, yo. But then he scored a 2-point conversion. I was like, he gotta have it. I was like, I'm waiting to the end of the game. I'm still waiting. I still waited. And then I looked and I was just like, yeah, let's go. And then Sean was like, what is he doing? I'm like, yo,
fantasy.
I had a Monday Night Miracle.
Nah,
that
Monday
Night Miracle
was
man.
a legit Monday Night Miracle. Like it was a legit Monday Night Miracle.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. If you had Lamar Jackson waiting, he just lost his mind.
Gave you 50 pieces?
Like Hollywood Brown lost his mind.
Yo, Marcus texted me. Was like, oh, Lamar letting you down around like 10:28. At 10:28, right back, I sent them a bomb emoji, like bomb for your ass. Like literally, as soon as he texted me, Lamar did our bomb to Hollywood.
That's crazy.
Oh, word.
I seen that. I knew I lost at that pause. I was just over. The crazy thing is, my man won 3,500 from the from that. He had the Ravens his last pick was the Ravens -3.5. -3.5. And what you was talking about even going for it in the OT, because they could have kicked the field goal. I mean, they have the best kicker probably all time. And they scored. Like they actually scored. Like they didn't hold no punches.
Yo, shout out to Mambo. Mambo just texted me. He said, "Hey Arnold though," with the dead face. So shout out to Mambo. Mambo tapped in with us. Yeah. Mambo, go ahead, like, subscribe, share the joint for us. We appreciate you, bro. Sorry, but nah, that was it. I'm sorry. What y'all expect? It's called We Think It's Sports. So sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't. Mills wasn't here to keep us in check. Mills texted us too and told us the title of the show is wrong. So shout out to Mills. Mills locked in with us. Shout out to everybody. The numbers going crazy. Keep showing love. Keep sharing. Repost. Go buy the merch. I see the merch. Overdue Bills. We out here. We doing things. We making moves. So
and next week we won't be as serious. Next week we won't. Be
lighter pop. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to our listeners. Tony was like, your boys had me dying last week on the pod. Now this week he was like, y'all niggas was serious as hell.
I mean, that's good too. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's good. Yeah, that's fine. It was good.
Sometimes, all right. And we gave some games. Sometimes people got to hear some stuff. So I love y'all boys. We're going to kick it with y'all. And we'll see you next week. Who do you?
Recording stop.
Remember them regular days when there wasn't no more watches for me. Now the money keep calling for me. I'm feeling like everyone plotting on me. Gotta pray for my people to block where they stay. And I know they all counting on me. To go, we going straight to the top. You can't never look down on the streets. Remember them regular days when there wasn't no more watches for me. Now the money keep calling for me. I'm feeling like everyone plotting on me. Gotta pray for my people to block where they stay. And I know they all counting on me.